This is my video content management system in Notion that helps me keep everything organized. But don't look away just yet. This bad boy right here automates some of the process so that I can focus on creating the best content that I can. From organizing my Google Drive to automatically creating Canva designs, this Notion system is a game changer for me. So let's get into this. Alright, so first let's break down the database where I store all of my video content. Now, at first it might look like a lot is happening, but if we dumb it down, this is just a good old Google spreadsheet, right? We have a table with columns where each column represents a video, and each video has some fields, and those are the columns that we see up here. So if I go through it quickly, we have ID, name, and status, which is crucial for managing the lifecycle of your content from an idea to the finished product and publishing. Then I have deadline, content type, assignee, and tags. The next two columns are just links that allow me to quickly access the video's Google folder and where me and my editor store all of the video footage and edited work. As you can see, we have a nicely organized Google Drive, and the best part is that I don't have to spend any time on this. Everything is managed in Notion, and the automation takes care of the rest. But more on that later, we'll get there. So back in Notion, I also have a Canva link that opens the Canva design where I design my thumbnails. And again, all the project folders and file organization is managed for me. I just focus on keeping the Notion table clean. That's it. So for the rest of the columns, we have Google Folder ID, which is used to generate the Google Folder link that I just showed you. The same applies to the Canva ID column. And the reason why I'm not storing the whole links and instead I have dedicated columns for just the ID and the links separately is because having those IDs ready is super useful if I want to do more automations with Google Drive or Canva. Then I have a column for uploading licenses because we are using assets in the videos like music, sound effects, and I don't want to go look for them every single time I have to dispute a copyright claim from YouTube. And the last column, finally, are tasks that I can easily view in my dashboard over here, where I have all the tasks, not just tasks related to content production, but also client-related tasks or business-related work. But that's a tangent. Let's get back to the video content database. So that was the database. Now, what is beautiful about Notion is that we can create different views while the data stays the same. This current main DB view that we see is just a plain table view where we have all the rows and all the columns like a regular spreadsheet. But we can visualize the same data in a different way by creating a new view that could look something like this. As you can see, instead of having rows, we have cards. And instead of all the different columns, we have columns based on the status. And by moving the cards from one column to another, the status of that video will change accordingly. And this is by far my most favorite and used view, and it's called the board view. I personally like to call it as pipeline because you're trying to move all the content from left to right, which allows you to see how far from the finish line your content is. And on top of that, I really like the feel of physically moving the video forward to the next status. Then I have status view, which is just a table view with the good old rows and columns, but the content is grouped by status. Moving on to the next one, we have the calendar view, which is super cool because it displays your content on a calendar based on the deadline date. What I like about this view is that it's super clear when the deadline is, and you can literally move the videos to the specific dates and the deadline of that video will change. So if I take this video content and move it by 1 week, it will change the deadline accordingly. And my last view is the gallery view, which, if I'm being honest, I've never really used. This is just good for flexing, really, or showing off because it just looks amazing. So for me, this view is mostly used for creating thumbnails and marketing assets. So those were the Notion basics about tables, databases, and views. Now, to be honest, I wasn't planning to go this deep into explaining Notion, but let me know in the comments if you prefer going more in depth or it'll be better to just go quickly and make it shorter. So let's get into the workflows and automations starting from the beginning. I will create a new video in the concept column, and let's call it Notion tutorial. Now, pay close attention to the created card because just now I triggered an automation. As you can see, after adding a new video content, the system automatically assigned the card to me, renamed the video so that it starts with its ID, and also it created a Google folder link that I can just click on. Here we can see the Google folder with templatized structure, and it is indeed in the videos folder. Now, one small detail, the reason why the folder is named vid75 drafting is because of two reasons. The first one is that the video is just a concept right now, so the title will be changing. And the second reason is that even from the Google Drive, I can tell which videos are just ideas and which ones are already approved concepts and in progress. Once I'm happy with the video idea, I move it to the next stage, and that is TNT, which is just a shortcut for title and thumbnail. And again, pay close attention because once I move it there, another automation will get triggered. This time, the system automatically created a Canva design and generated a link so that I can easily access it. And as you can see, it also created the project folder with the name vid75. So once I'm done with the TNT, I move it to the drafting stage. This time, there is no automation triggered. Now, when I want to start scripting, start writing, I open the video content card and I'll start typing, right? And for me, Notion is just perfect when it comes to note-taking or writing in general because it's super clean and minimalistic, and I can just focus on scripting at that point. I can add headers, bullet points, quotes, basically everything I need. And then, when I'm finished with the drafting, I start filming. By moving the card to the filming column, the system automatically renames the Google folder from vid75 drafting to vid75, whatever the name of the video is, right? And this is super useful because I don't have to go back to Google Drive and rename it back and forth. So once I have uploaded all the raw footages to the Google Drive, I move it to the next stage, which is post-production. And this will just reassign the video to my editor and send him a notification. In this stage, we are usually going back and forth by adding comments to the video card directly or into the script. Let me show you a video that we have already done. Let's pick this one. And as you can see, we have comments in the general section, but also comments in the script itself. It is super easy. You just highlight part of the text and click comment, right? Super simple and easy, and I just love the design. And by the way, this is not sponsored by Notion. I just really like the platform. So lastly, once the edit is approved, we move it to ready to publish, which assigns the video back to me, and I start preparing captions, content descriptions, and then I go publish it on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Now, this could be definitely automated, but it can be very pricey, and I didn't have much time to find a better, cheaper way yet. So if you know how to do that cheap, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in researching and diving deeper into the content automation. But again, that was just a tangent. And for the finish, once the video is published to all the platforms, I move it to the publish stage, which will end the video lifecycle. So that was it. If you found this video valuable and helpful, drop me that like and subscribe so that I know you guys enjoy this type of content and that I should do more. And as always, all the templates and blueprints are in the description below, so feel free to take whatever you need.